Good morning, beloveds. Um, you never know how a memorial is going to go, how a funeral is going to go. I am pleased to say that Pat's memorial went beautifully. Beautifully. We had one hitch with the electronics, but in the end, even that wasn't that big of a deal. It was amazing. And yeah, and I took my friend's advice and took my day of rest today. We normally will we moved our day of rest to Friday, but she says, no, go home, sleep in. And I was like, you know what? She's right. Uh, whether I do a day of rest or go for a bike ride tomorrow, but today I rested. I didn't get home until after 11, so it was a good night. Oh, so, and I did end up using the piece out of the book that I said I was going to. All right, it is August 10th. Oh, one other thing. If you haven't seen the news, please treat for the island of Maui. The wildfires have absolutely just, it's bad. And we do have a member who lives on Maui. She is safe. Her family is safe. But because the cell towers are down because the wildfires are so bad. And there's a town called Lahaina. And it's a historic town. If you've seen pictures from the California wildfires, it burned to the ground. So please treat for the people of Maui. Okay, it is August 10th. Our title is In the Shadow of Spirit's Wings. And our author is Agnes Sanford from The Healing Light, 1947. As we practice the work of forgiveness, we discover more and more that the forgiveness and healing are one. We find indeed that all forms of prayer fuse into a high consciousness of God. Thus, the break in the pipeline that connects us with God, who is love, is mended, and the water of life fills us to the brim and overflows into our homes, workshops, and churches. This inrush of God's Holy Spirit heals us naturally. But it does far more than that. Indeed, as we pursue the spiritual life, we lose sight of the physical benefits of our increasing vision of God itself. We find after a while that we desire God more for God's own sake than for ours. And as this comes to us, we begin to understand a little bit of that process by which the world will be filled with the glory of God as the waters cover the sea. More and more we seek the beginning within us of the manifestation of the children of God who will walk the earth with power, accomplishing the works of Spirit who sent them. More and more surely we know that the day of the Lord, when nations shall not rise up against nation, nor shall they learn war any more, can only be brought about by us, the children of light. So, as a practitioner, that's exactly the experience of doing the quote-unquote healing work. When you, as a practitioner, are doing a treatment for somebody for whatever particular it is that you are doing, because you are treating yourself. And this is why you don't have to be a licensed practitioner. Everybody can be a practitioner. When you are praying for someone for a particular thing, whatever it is, because it is flowing through you, you naturally benefit from that work that you do. It is one of the most incredible things about being a practitioner. It's a side benefit. Okay? And anybody who prays for another, that is exactly because you are literally channeling the power, the love, the healing of God through you. and you can't help but benefit. It's like when you get a rainstorm and the rain washes things clean. That's what she's talking about. All right. It naturally happens. And I would say that based on her assertion, if I go back and look at my own experience, that I would agree with her that when you do this kind of work, the more you focus on it, the less the material world pulls on you. And I'm not sure that I can explain that. If I try, I'm probably going to sound crazy. It's not that the material world isn't important, and it's not that there's work to do, but you cease to pay attention to everything material that screams, look at me, look at me, look at me. That kind of stuff, that glittery stuff, the fool's gold, just doesn't get your attention anymore, because you've seen the real gold. You've seen the real gold. You've seen the real gold in the love. And so, as you focus on that, then I do believe you become less reactive. I do believe that you become less reactive. I find I was a redhead growing up. I grew up with a stereotypical temper, and I still have it, and it's still in there, especially if I get overtired. But yeah, I think that's the only way I can describe it, is I have become less reactive. Probably because I take better care of myself now. I try to make sure that I eat regularly. I try and make sure that, like, I slept in today. I do that kind of stuff. I do that self-care. And then the glittery stuff that I know to be fool's gold doesn't get my attention the way it used to, because I don't need the glittery fool's gold to make me feel good about myself. And so I think that's what she's talking about. The children of light, that where when you turn your focus to spiritual work, and it doesn't mean that the material stuff doesn't get done. I mean, I'm going to get up and go to work and do my job that will pay my mortgage for the material house that I live in. But I don't need the stuff anymore. You know, I don't need the stuff to prop up my ego anymore. And maybe that's what Agnes is talking about. Agnes is the name of my grandmother, so I find that very interesting. And when we all get to that point where we are no longer keeping up with the Joneses, then we can live in peace. And everybody's got to come to it on their own. You know, that's the nature of this work. It's the nature of this work, is every single one of us has got to come to that on our own. You know, we can't just, it's like, we can't teach this. We do teach this, but it's mostly a lead by example. And that's one of the reasons why the teachers, with us being in the West, Jesus being the foremost example, you know, came into this world, lived a certain way, and said, follow me, do what I do. Yeah. All right. So, we find that after a while that we desire God more for God's own sake than for ours, because we've tamed the ego. We've allowed the ego to have its say and its place, and it's content that we're not being foolish. And as this comes to us, we begin to understand a little bit of that process by which the world will be filled with the glory of God as the waters cover the sea. A little bit. More and more, we seek the beginnings within us of the manifest of the children of God who will walk the earth in power, accomplishing the works of God that sent them. More and more we will surely know that the day of the Lord, when the nations shall not rise up. Yeah. As we can only lead by example. We can only do that within ourselves. When we focus on God, when we focus on spirit, when we focus on love. And then we lead by example. We do the work. And we don't shout it from the rooftops, but we do the work in the streets. Yeah. All right. That is what Agnes is talking about. So, I like the sentence that she says, we find indeed that all forms of prayer fuse into a higher consciousness of God. Thus, the break in the pipeline that connects us with God, who is love, is mended, and the water of life fills us to the brim and overflows into our homes, workshop, and churches. That's one of the reasons why I used the metaphor that I did. I grew up kind of in the country, not on a farm, but in the country. And so I remember being a child and stepping on the hose or kinking the hose. And that's what Agnes is talking about, that pipeline. We are always connected to God. Always. We can't disconnect from God because literally that is the power that animates us. But we can kink that hose. We can get in our own way. And so that's what she's talking about in getting it out of our own way, and recognizing that all forms do that work. All forms fuse us with that consciousness. It means we tend to unkink that hose and let that power flow through us. And the amazing thing is she's right. As that power flows through us, it overflows into the rest of our life. All right. I don't know how to pick a mission out of here, though. Let's see. Well, there it is. More and more we seek the beginnings within us of the manifestation of the children of God. So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to seek within ourselves the manifestation of the children of God. What does that mean? You are a child of God. Seek within yourself to fully reveal what that means. What does it mean to be a beloved child of God? I can tell you that part of it is to treat yourself kindly. Self-care. To treat others kindly. To let your compassion overflow. So, if you are seeking within you the manifestation of the children of God, live fully as a beloved child of God. What does that mean? So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to define for ourselves what it means to live as a beloved child of God. The title is In the Shadow of Spirit's Wings. What does it mean to live as a beloved child of God? All right, that is the mission. Same mission I give you every day, just different words, different ideas. And one of them is going to strike that fire for you. All right, the other mission, which is I've already talked about several times, is the same one I give you every day. It is the spiritual practice of self-care. It is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. We had a heck of a memorial last night. It was amazing. It was wonderful. It was awesome. The most loving, kind, and compassionate thing I could do for myself was to turn off my alarm. Actually, I didn't turn off my alarm. What I did was I set my alarm an hour and a half later. I normally get up at 6:30. I set my alarm for 8 and woke up at 10 minutes after 8. So That's what I'm talking about. The most loving, kind, and compassionate thing that I could do for myself and for all of the people that are going to encounter me today when I go to work is to get a little extra sleep. Okay? To take that self-care. That is what it looks like. Sometimes it means setting your alarm a little later, sleeping in. It looks like, it looks like taking a deep breath before you speak. It looks like taking a break. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like taking a walk. It looks like saying no to something that drains you. It looks like saying yes to something that pushes you a little out of your comfort zone. I did most of the mic work last night, and it was good. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to honor this woman by doing this. And I did. So, and it was great because the one woman who was nervous about being on the mic did an amazing job. And I went and got her out of her seat, and she pulled a friend with her to support her. And that's what self-care looks like. She came with me when I came to get her, but she also was willing to accept the help of the friend, to support her. That's what self-care looks like, people. It's all good and it's all amazing, and please try it. So, it also, let me remind you, because like I said, in 6 months, I lost 2 people very important in my life. Your life is a special occasion. Eat dessert first. Eat dessert first. Don't save the good stuff. Burn the nice candles. You write the good notebooks. Wear the nice clothes. Use the special occasion stuff more often. More often. Okay. I may need some more water. Okay. Loving, kind, compassion, practice on yourself. Okay. I feel like, and then the rest of the suggestions. Do something to engage your mind and your body. Unless today is your day of rest. I may take 2 days of rest. That's called self-care, people. Please drink plenty of water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. We are still looking at the triple digits. It is super important that we, hydrate. Your brain works better, your body works better, and your skin looks better when you hydrate. And then get that early in your day bright light. I'm talking between 7 and 9 in the morning. If you get up before the sun, artificial light will work too. Reset that natural hormone balance. It's called a circadian rhythm. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. So it's like, what I try and do is as soon as I get up, go, get a face full of bright light, and then I try and go get some sunshine. I haven't done it this morning. Day of rest. Okay. There's that Ernest Holmes quote. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around us all the time. If it is all made from God's stuff, then it means that heaven is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. I think that's what Agnes was pointing towards. As we repair that pipeline, unkink that hose, recognize that the source of our being is God, the source of everything is God, then we come into the realization that we are beloved children. Then we can look around at the world and go, I got this. I got this. When we walk through the world peaceful, the world gets better around us. That is what Ernest is reminding us. Open the windows of your soul. What opens the windows of your soul? Good works, good music, good literature, good fellowship. So whatever it takes. And as I will always, always remind you, you can take Emma Curtis Hopkins' advice, look for the good and praise it. Gratitude will get you everywhere. Gratitude will get you to heaven. You want to create a heavenly mindset? Gratitude will do it. So try it. It will also help you discover what it means to live as a beloved child of God. Gratitude will absolutely go a long way to doing that. So try it. You might like it. All right, I'm going to remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. on the social medias that we are on. I am the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. If you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. Those hot links are hot. If you click on those, because I talked to a woman last night, she said, well, I don't have a Facebook. Well, that's okay. Do you get the emails? You don't have to have a Facebook to watch the live stream of the service on Sundays. I mean, you can always go to the YouTube, because I try and get them up on Sunday night. Every now and again I don't, but I've been pretty good lately. So the hot links will take you there. The hot links are hot. They'll either take you right to the information you want, or the person that can help you get it. So please take advantage of all of that. And I don't know what I was about to say, so I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a good day. If that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Even on the days that I don't feel it, I always say it, because I will tell you, doing that little bit really does help. I get enthusiastic. I get a little. It feels good, and I can carry that out. So there will be days that I will get on and you can tell that I am not feeling it. But by the time I get to that, when I say it, it helps. Try it. Go look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself to have an amazing day. Use all of the amazing adjectives that I usually use and today did not. All right. It's a fun little exercise. Okay. Just the rest of the spiel. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.